in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, but he is a former All-Star race winner. And this weekend he's driving the number 29 Pennzoil Ultra Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing. Kevin, talk about your outlook on this weekend's race. I know winning that All-Star race a couple years ago had to be a big thrill for you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to come out and win the All-Star race here. It's been a tough track for us, notoriously. Felt like we had a good test when we came a couple months ago, and I felt like we ran well here in October. So just going to go out and do the best we can and see where we're at, hopefully in practice today, and make some adjustments from there and then go for it on tomorrow night.
Okay, we'll take questions now for Kevin, if we can, right here.
Hi, Kevin. Tom Jensen,
Hang on, we got the gremlins in here.
SpeedTV.com. As a past winner of this event, going into the last 10 laps, where do you want to be, and what's going to ultimately make a difference of who wins or loses?
Well, I think the biggest thing is you want to try to be out front once everybody gets single file as soon as you can to try to take advantage of the aero side of it. The year we won from fourth on the restart and passed everybody going into turn through the middle 1 and 2 on the restart. And so I think with 10 laps, I think as fast as everybody's cars are going to be and as much grip as you're going to have, I think you're going to want to be leading.
Just as a quick follow-up to that, how big an advantage is Denny going to have with the
Well, I think with the rules, I think it's definitely going to be an advantage. But I think that's the key to the whole week. Just the fact that every event matters. It's kind of like the baseball All-Star game. I mean, winning the All-Star game gives you home field advantage in the World Series. So they won the first part of it, and they're going to reap the benefits from it.
Next question. Jenna, you got one? Go ahead.
Jenna Fryer, Associated Press. Kevin, I saw some anonymous sources said today that you've agreed to a contract extension. I know you're penchant for anonymous sources. Are they correct this time?
I don't have anything new to report today. As soon as we get it all, it's something to report, we'll go ahead and do that. But nothing new to report today.
Other questions? Back over at Chuck. Far right there, Kevin.
Chuck Howard, NASCAR Media Group. Kevin, looking forward to looking ahead to next weekend. With the 600, those final 100 miles, for those of us that have no clue what you guys go through in the car, is the final 100 miles compared to most weeks, is it more mental or physical, or is it obviously a combination?
I think mentally you're kind of programmed to run 400 or 500 miles, so that the extra 100 miles definitely you think the race should be over and you got 100 miles to go. So really from that standpoint, there's really not a whole lot different. The engine guys worry about it more than anybody, just because everything that we do is pretty much for a 700-mile weekend with practice and qualifying in the race. So they become pretty stingy about how many laps you can run in practice and things like that during the practice sessions.
Next question. Who's got one? Right here in the middle, please.
Kevin, Tim Baird, News 14, Carolina. Just wanted to ask you about Brian Vickers and his situation. And as a driver, how hard do you think it is for him to maybe sit on the sidelines this weekend and watch his car still hit the track, and also just talk about the community of the garage and you guys, while you're so competitive, how much you come together to support somebody like Brian?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want to sit in the garage and watch your car go around. I had to experience that a little bit when we went to the shootout this year and watched those guys practice my car while I was at home sick. But mine was just a day illness, and sounds like it's going to be a little bit. So it's definitely not something that you want, but obviously your health comes first, and I think anybody in the garage will do anything that he needs to do to try to help. I think everybody's just wanting to know what caused it, why, and make sure that there's not anything that we're doing that could be a common thread or anything like that. So anytime something like that happens, you just kind of want to know why.
There's a question back in the back. Thomas, raise your hand there. Thank you.
Kevin, Thomas Pope from the Fayetteville Observer. How does this car react with the wing on it at a track this size, and can you take the air off of somebody in 10 laps, or will the adhesion with a new set of tires sort of offset that some?
I think they're definitely going to be aero sensitive when you get somebody right next to you. They haven't seemed to be real sensitive with somebody near you, but I mean if they're right on your door, it's obviously going to affect what's happening, and then somebody right on your rear bumper is going to affect it. But they're going to have to be really, really close to have it be a full effect. But I mean to win this deal and run as fast as you need to run, the car's got to be right on the edge of spinning out, and the track's fast and got a lot of grip at night, and it'll just be one of those things where I don't think it's going to affect it unless they're right next to you.
Go ahead, Bob. We'll go Bob, and then we'll go to Jenna, and then over to Woody. Go ahead.
Bob Hocker, StingDaily.com. What did you think of the patch at Daytona? Did you run over it at all during the nationwide test, and how did it hold up?
Yeah, I mean the patch felt fine. You really couldn't even tell it was there. Everybody ran through it lap after lap, and then didn't bounce the car around. They did a good job fixing it, and don't think it'll be an issue.
Go ahead.
Kevin, can you talk a little bit about this race and why it's different from the others? And everybody talks about no points, $1 million on the line, anything goes. Do you, as a driver, really feel like anything goes out there?
Well, I think if you're racing for a win, probably. I think you probably put yourself in positions that you normally wouldn't put yourself in on a longer race. So you take more chances, definitely from a driver's standpoint, than you would on a normal weekend, just because the risk is not. There's really nothing to lose other than a race car. So. There's nothing really to lose, so you take more risk than you would on a normal everyday circumstance. Oh yeah, I mean, this race for us has been notoriously a proving ground for new parts in the engine. The engine guys seem to be use it more than anybody else, and you'll push things harder here just to get some time on them for sure. Whether it's engines, chassis parts, whatever the case may be, if you got something that could break, this is the place to put it on, because the performance is better, but you just don't know what the durability is.
Go ahead, Woody.
Woody Kane with MRN. Kevin, as a nationwide car owner, can you describe a little bit of the challenge of getting that new car ready and what kind of impact you think it might have on some of the smaller teams?
Well, I think from the test, based upon the test, the participation is very good. We're still a couple months out from the race, and I think we had 23 or 24 teams there. So I really think once everything gets going, it's going to be easier for the smaller teams, just for the fact that the cars are easier to build. The box is a lot smaller that you have to work in, and I know that there's really no good way to phase anything in, but I think they've done a good job of figuring out once a month there for a few months with each style of racetrack. So everybody will have at least one car built. And the good thing about the new car is for those guys on that end of the garage is you can really race the same car at all 4 races if you had to. So if you really wanted to gamble a little bit or you couldn't afford it, you could just buy one car and race all 4 races. So I think it'll be great. I know sitting in the driver's seat, it's just so much better to be able to move around and not have your head sitting against the roll bar and all those different things that come with the new car. So as we get down the road, I think it'll pay big dividends. Obviously, if your car breaks down, you don't want to go to the dealer and have to buy a new car. But if you want to go to work, you do. So if they want to show up and race, then you got to buy a new car.